helpful if I put myself on the screen. Welcome to another LiveTIme with Alec. This is going to be a fun conversation. I think a lot of them are. I hope they are. I try to bring much value as I can, but this is a viewpoint that I think needs to land into loan officers' psyches because it's what prepares you for the next step of our business, right? You have to have the end game in mind when you're mapping out what you plan to do with your business, where you plan to take your career. All that stuff matters. So let's have a really cool conversation about what should our focus be? What are we driving towards? And we'll land this today in the end game. All right, everybody, let's have a fun conversation about what we're doing this whole thing for. So simplistically, right? So you have a business plan. You're out there trying to get loans. What's your objective? What are you trying to strive for every single day? You're managing chaos. I understand that. You're probably managing loans and customers and emotions and all this stuff. But what is the point of your purpose? I guarantee you that the bottom line of everything you're trying to accomplish is setting yourself up to have opportunity, right? That's what you want. That's what you want, opportunity. You want the chance to talk to more and more customers. You want the chance to serve and help more and more people. Maybe you want a quality of life. Maybe you want a robust business that doesn't just consume you, but that gives you the financial security you're looking for in your life. And so what or how do you get those things? See, this is funny because we can talk about strategies on social media, strategies with our referral partners, strategies with our past customers, strategies on video and content and marketing and social and ads and YouTube. But what is the goal of all this stuff? You know, I follow a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk's stuff as one of the thought leaders that I appreciate from what he does in this game. And what he talked about that resonated with me, and I've heard over and over in my career, and I want you to think about this and resonate it with me. See if you agree. He said, and a bunch of other people have taught, that it's not he who has the best conversion strategy in his back pocket that wins. It is not he who has the best interest rates that wins. It is not he who has the best product knowledge or the most experience that wins. You see, the person that wins is the person who has the most attention. Another way to put it was, you might have a great message to deliver to the market, and you might yell it as loud as you can, but you cannot ever be as loud as the person next to you who has a megaphone. Megaphone always wins. You can bark and yell as loud as you want, but this person has a megaphone. So even if this person's message isn't as good as yours, they have the chance to affect more people. They have scale on their side, and they win. Think of it another way. Imagine the person who has cultivated a database for 10 years. 10 years. And let's say this person closes 100 loans a year. So that's a great number, right? 100 loans times 10, and they have a massive database. And then let's say the next person who focuses for 10 years, and they don't ever attune their database. They have no database. So after 10 years, one person has 10,000 customers, and one person has 0. Sorry, 1,000 customers. Math. I'm good at math, I promise. Do you see the problem here? The person who has a full, robust database after 10 years, they have the megaphone. With one interaction, they can touch all of those people. They can go back through their database and make personalized calls and texts and contact. And the person that has none has no opportunity. Now let's take that exact same scenario. Somebody that has done 10,000 loans over 10 years and somebody that has done 10,000 loans and has no database after 10 years. And then we fall back into 2020 and it's a refi boom like we've never seen before in our life. Who has the opportunity? The person with the database. Now, as we talk about databasing and all that stuff, that feels very 1980s and like old school mortgage banking. So what does it translate to today? I know you know the punchline. I know you know what I'm going to say. But just think of this for a second. Take one person who has invested in digital communities for 5 years, 10 years, and inside that digital community, they've put out content marketing, messaging, human connection, They've been commenting and engaging with the people that they want to be influencing, their past customers, their realtors, their friends, their family, everybody else. And the other person has been working their butt off the exact same way, doing loans, but it's just invisible. And then we come into a place where a market like 2020 or anything like that, and this person who has spent all this time developing all this rich connection has now this giant megaphone to the universe. And they win. It's so funny because what Gary Vaynerchuk said was, with attention, I can sell anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's correct. I mean, imagine you work your butt off in mortgages for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever your career ends up being. You turn back and you have this legacy of connection on social media, these legacy of friends in the industry you've made over the years, this legacy of customers you've helped, and you decide to write a book. God bless you. Put out a memoir or a book on sales or a book that's all, or whatever. Just think of that and look at this audience you already have to say, hey, I wrote a book. You might be interested in buying it. Look at Gary Vaynerchuk as an example. The guy built his presence up selling wine library on YouTube. And the guy can sell whatever he wants now because he has attention. He has your attention. I tell all that not to tell you that you should go sell books or sell anything. The mortgage industry is the greatest industry on the planet. I think that people are crazy to do otherwise. I'm in love with it. But if you're not working towards the end game, if you're stuck in transactions every day, just transactions, and not looking at like, no, how am I cultivating a community? How am I building connection? How am I uplifting those customers and those people around me? Oof. You're missing out on the opportunity because you're not focused on what really matters. And what really matters is what is going to matter at the end. And the end, what's going to matter is how much attention do you have when you talk, when you share your message, when you open up about your value proposition and what you have to deliver to the market. If you haven't been focusing on building this robust community and building attention, you're going to be like the guy who turned around, or gal, they can mess up too, who turns around at the end of their 10 years and go, man, I had no database at all. I mean, here's another angle for you. If you're looking for long-term focus and what should drive you every day to stay consistent and push. If you are the loan officer who maintains a great database, and after 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, you have 10,000 people in your database, that is an annuity. You can bring up the next generation of loan officer and say, I am going to give you this. And you can use my likeness and you can market to my past customers with me. And I'm going to be in Hawaii, but I'll get a call every now and then. I'll help out. I'll send a text, but you just take over the game and just pay me whatever, this piece of this percentage and move on. It's a lifetime annuity. Yeah. But see, what Reed's saying is I need to Facebook groups it immediately. Yes. Because all of this stuff matters when it matters. Does it matter this second if everything you're focusing on is it building attention for the end game? No, like you can get away with today. But like, what about after a month? What about after a year? What about another 2 years go by? You have the opportunity to build one of the most incredible careers that does not have to stop at retirement. It can just change into something different, and it's still able to help people and reward you financially for your effort if you focus on the end game. A robust, connected community that you're a part of, where you are respected and appreciated and welcomed, that you helped coordinate and connect and bring together, so that when any of these scenarios come up, a refi boom happens. Hey, call me again for a refi when everyone else is calling them, but you have built their attention. They know you, they like you, they respect you, they see you all the time. Guess who's going to win? You. Even if you're not the absolute best loan officer with the best price in the industry, you still win. So Matthew, it's funny about the concept about annuity, right? I mean, we've heard this concept about annuity forever, but let me explain what I mean by it. If I was an originator today and I had continued to originate at the velocity I was in 2003 and 4, which is about 150 to 180 million a year, right? Compound that through the next 10 to 15 years to bring us to today. If I would have kept going on that trajectory, I would have a lot of customers in my database, wouldn't I? And if I have been diligent in building a strong connection to those people and was their trusted resource, and I was on social media with my content strategy, continuing to educate and entertain and contribute to their lives. And then I decide, you know what? I just really don't want to do loans like I've been doing before. And I go out and I hire 2 to 3 junior loan officers, and I spend a year or 2 training them, getting them ready, getting my customers and my referral partners used to those people, introducing them in some of my content. And then instead of letting leads come to me, I just say, no, they go to these people now. You trust me. I trust them. I built them. They go to these people now. And I step out. I heard a great comment today from a great loan officer who has been telling realtors now, hey, look, I have a referral. They go, I have a referral for you. And he goes, great. I love referrals. Call my guy. And they go, well, no, I want to call you. And he goes, oh, look, I work on my business, not in it. I respect this person. I've hired them to do this. Call them with your leads. Some people say, no, I don't want to do that. And some are like, great. Yeah, no problem. And you transition your business. And then at some point you say to those junior loan officers, this is just an example, but look, hey, I'm just going to make my 30 bips or 40 bips on these deals. You make the rest. And I'm just going to go over here and continue on my education platforms, my content, my community building, but you're going to take the leads and loans. And effectively just retire or shift your career into a new phase where it's not the same grind. Yes, the juniors will not have the same conversion you do because they're not you. There'll be a drop off of your business because it's not you being a maniac about it. Okay, I understand all that. But even with that, maybe that's worth your quality of life. And it goes and on and on. You don't have to just go into the sunset, my friends. If you build attention and you build opportunity like this annuity concept is yours. You just build the team around it, hire the people in, and stay employed. Yes, take your e-learning classes every year. You know, get the benefits and drive volume, drive leads into the company. You basically become a lead magnet at that point, and maybe that's something you're still interested in doing, but you want to be out of the day-to-day. Great. But again, my encouragement for anybody that listens to this today on LiveTIme is, what is the end game for you? If it's attention, like I think it should be, if it's this robust community that you are impactful in imparting and marketing to and prospecting to and serving, then what are you doing every single day to start setting the bricks up to build this future? It's the same thing that somebody in the 80s would have said, you got a database manage. Okay. So that in 5 years, in 10 years, you got a robust database of customers you can go back to. Okay. The same stuff today. If you translate that in today's language, it's attention. Know you, like you, trust you. So you got to be relentless. You got to have it tattooed on your forehead. I'm doing this every day. No matter what, it's non-negotiable. This is my path every single day, because as it builds. Yeah, Joe. I mean, Joe, you've done it. Look at even like, I feel like Joe and I have a very similar, like, you know, digital journey. Like we both, at least I bumped into Joe when I was like fully committing into this space. And I've watched Joe do incredible things with video and branding. He's one of the funniest loan officers on TikTok that I know, but he translates that to everywhere. His brand has been building. He's doing lives now. And I'm like, that's the process. Like, it just keeps building. It'll build into something greater and bigger tomorrow. It'll build into something greater and bigger the next day. And all of a sudden, if Joe says, hey, may I have your attention? Rates are in the 2s. And 10,000 people go, yes, Joe. It's the Thanos snap. Like, it's over. But it doesn't. And the guy next to Joe, who's probably a great loan officer, is like, hey, rates are in the 2s. And it's an echo chamber because nobody's there to hear it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're building towards. At least, I hope you're building toward it. I hope you're not just doing loans. Because if you're just doing loans, then you're going to turn around one day and you're going to make the person that never put a name in their database. Makes sense in my little brain. So get out there and build attention over time. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the internet.